Hi, I'm Kurt Hammitt. Today I'm going to break down Dyers Eve, the guitar solo for you. We'll do a technical analysis for the whole thing, and I'll show you the licks you guys are all playing wrong, okay? So, first thing we want to think about is that this riff is in E Phrygian. So what we need to do is these two notes are basically an F power chord. So I'm playing over F and E. So we're basically in E Phrygian. So I know when I'm in Phrygian, I could use the notes of a C major or A minor scale, or E Phrygian, if you will. And that will work with E minor pentatonic, and I can use an E blues scale with that. So the first lick, what happens here is I'm doing a bend on 14 of the G, and then to the high E, 12, and if you want to get my tone, put on a little wah, maybe a little delay. But right now I'll leave it off to explain it to you a little better. Bend 14 on the G, to the high E, 12, and then 15 to 12 is a pull-off. This is a classic old guitar lick. But it's a little sloppy the way I play it, because I need to get some feel in there. So I see a lot of people playing it a bunch of different ways. I won't get into all the other ways, but what you want to do is do this lick I told you, 14 on the G, bend, and then to 12 on the high E, to 15 to 12 on the B as a pull-off. But what happens is we'll do that fast. And then after that, we're going to keep that pull-off moving at the same speed and pull off on the high E. Right after 4 of those. Right into that. After that. We're going to go to that note, 15 on the B. And then after that, we go into the classic lick of 12 to 15 to 12. We'll do a hammer on and then a pull off. And then the 15 on the B. Work on the speed of that. So after the end of this, go right into that, because it's me just trying to go that. So here's that first part. Okay. This next part everyone messes up as well. I'm in E Phrygian, but what I'm doing here is I'm playing out of an E minor pentatonic notes. And then maybe I hit an F sharp. Maybe it's 19 to 14. So I'm going to hit 17 to 12 as a pull-off twice, and then 15 on the B. So we'll do that. And after that, I go 19 to 14 on the high E. Now, I know you're saying F sharp. You're playing over an F, Kurt. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, what are you, a cop? You know, Dave Gilmour, your boy Dave Gilmour, he ends up hitting an F sharp in Dogs. Same thing. Maybe you never heard of polytonality? Maybe I could play in 2 keys at once here. Okay? But I know I'm in E Phrygian and I hit an F sharp. Leave me alone, right? Quit making fun of me. So 17 to 12 twice as a pull-off, to 15 on the B, and then we go 19 to 14 as a pull-off. Yep, over an F, whatever. Fuck off. So, and then after that, we'll bend 22 on the high E. Twice. We have to bend 22 on the high E because that's a D note, and we're always playing over E, so we need to work on that a lot. So you really should work on, get your speed, and get this. Get all those licks down fast enough, but here's the beginning. The next part will be out of an E blues scale, E minor blues scale. So we're going to take 12 on the B, 12 on the G, and we're going to bend it a whole step. Now, we don't use a whammy bar or anything like that. We just bend them both up. We could use our first finger going down, but it'd probably get there better if we did these fingers. And then 12 on the G to 14 on the D. 14's on the D, and that's your root note, so we got to use that note a lot. Then we're going to hit 12 on the D, and then we'll hammer 12 to 14 on the D. Back to 12 on the D, to 14, 13, 12, 10 on the A. Hit 12 on the A, then hit 12 and bend and release it. And then the 10 on the A to 12 on the E. Now we're switching keys to. So now James plays that, which is in the key of F sharp Phrygian. So now I have to play out of the notes of B minor or D major, which is F sharp Phrygian. So here I'm going to play all of these notes, which are out of the F sharp Phrygian mode. So here I'm going to slide to 15, but before I get there, I sort of hesitate and get to 14 on the B, like. So it's kind of 14, and then I got to 15, but I'm really just trying to get to 15. See how that kind of worked out? Yeah. And then 14 on the B, to 15 to 14 on the B, to 16 on the G, and then 14, 15, 17 all picked. And then 14 to 15 to 14 on the high E, hammer-on pull-offs. 17 on the B, and then 14, 15, 17 on the high E. Now 19, 17, 15 on the E as pull-offs, and then same frets on the B as pull-offs. Now this part gets messed up a lot. It's 17, 15, 14 on the E, 15, 14 on the E, to 17 on the B. And now instead of going to the high E14, which I try to do, I'm basically just going to hit 14 on the B, and because I'm barring here. So it's... See what I mean? There's a little noise in that. You see what happened right there, right? So it's basically after that 17 to 14 pull off on the B, then we're going to go 15 to 14 on the B, to 16 on the G. 15, 14 was a pull off on the B, to 16 on the G string, 14 on the B string, to 16 to 14 on the G as a pull off, down to that root note. That's a F sharp 16th fret on the D string, and then we'll hit 14 on the G, and then we'll hammer on 14 to 16 on the G. That whole part. Now we're just going to play descending 6 in the key of F sharp minor here. Again, sue me if I'm playing in the wrong mode, but whatever. Okay, so we need to learn how to do that in all the keys. All great guitar players could do that, practice that, learn how to do that. So this was sliding maybe from 13 to 14 into the G, to 14 on the high E, and then 13 on the G to 12 on the E, 11 on the G to 10 on the E, 9 on the G to 9 on the E. Now here's another lick everyone seems to mess up. This one's going on the B string, 12 to 10 to 9, all as pull-offs. Well, I pick 12 and then pull off 10, pull off 9. Now we're going to go 10 to 9 as a pull-off, and then to 11 on the G. Now we're going to do that same pull-off, 10 to 9 on the B string, back to 11 on the G, but down to 7 on the G. So that is that next phrase. The next phrase is going to be 9, 7, 6 on the G. That used to be a number we'd call a lot for stuff back in the 80s and 90s. So we're just going to pick 9 to 7 to 6. Will be pull-offs, picking 9 and then pulling off the other. So that is... And then we're going to go 7 to 6 on the G string, to 9 on the D, and then to 7 on the D. So all of that is together. And then now we're going to do one of these classic kind of pull-off slide down licks. So we should know we're just in the key F sharp minor. Yeah. Got me? So it's 9, 7, 6 on the G, and then 7 to 6, pull off down to 9, to 7 on the D. So that was a pull off, 9 to 7 on the D. And then it's just going to be 9 to 7, pull off, slide to 6 on the D string. 7, pull off to 6, slide to 4 on the D. 6, pull off to 4, slide to 2 on the D. Now we're going to go 4 pulls off to 2, which pulls off to open with one pick there. And slide down. 2nd fret of the low E. Okay, so if you want me to play that slowly. Now we get into this exotic arpeggio. It's called a minor flat 6 arpeggio. James plays an F sharp, so I play an an F sharp minor flat 6 arpeggio. So that's 9 on the A, 7 on the D, 6 on the G, a hammer on to 7, to 6 on the G, to 7 on the D. And I slide in. Then James plays a G, so I go to the key of a G. Well, I play a G add 4 arpeggio. I hammer, so it's 5 on the D, 4 on the G, 5 on the G, hammer from 5 to 7 on the G, back to 5 on the G to 4 on the G. Then James hits an A, so I move that to an A major add 4. Then I think James hits an E. Yeah, and so I make it an E minor 7, playing an E Dorian, still B minor, F sharp Phrygian. That would be 7, 6 to 7 to 6 on the G, on the D string, 9, 7, 5, 4. Now we're just going to go 5 to 4 to open. We're just playing all the notes of F sharp Phrygian on that string. So we're going to go 5 to 4 to open, hit 5 and pull off to 4, pull off to open. So we're going to do a couple fast ones. And then 7 5 open. 9 7 open. 11 9 open. And then 12 11 open. And then 11 on the G, slide down. That part. Now, this next part is a lick you should know. A lot of people mess this lick up too. It's 17 on the high E, pull off to 12 on the E, and then 15 on the B, right? Now, there's that lick, and the variation of that lick is doing 17 to 12, pull off twice, and then the 15. So the lick is that, and I mix those up, so you have to figure out which ones I'm doing where. I'll tell you now. I do it once, 2 times, and then I do it the 2-time one twice. Then I do the 1-time one, and then I do the 2-time one. So basically it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Or, sorry, 2. 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Now it's a little tricky for people, so it's that's what that lick is. Then the next lick is tap on 19, pull that off to 15, and then pull 15 off to 12. Same tap I do in Phantom Lord, same tap I do in 1. We have to do that 10 times. I'm sorry, 12 times. And then right away bending 22 to 24 again. Then we're going to repeat the F sharp minor flat 6 arpeggio. Let's keep in mind, this is a couple years before Rust in Peace came out. I'm following the chords here pretty nicely. I don't think it's a fair comparison, Rust in Peace, to Justice for All. Then back to the G add 4 with a hammer. I'm sorry, I don't go to the G. This time, James hits a D. So I go to play in the key of D major. So there's another modulation, is what we call it, kids. So we started in F sharp Phrygian. We're still in F sharp Phrygian. Now we move to the key, we're in D major. We're going to stay, that was 10, 8, 7 on the B. 9, 7, 6 on the G, 9 on the D, back to 6 on the G, 9, 7, 5 on the D. Now we're going to hit a G, or James hits a G, so now I'm going to switch keys again to the key of G major. I'm just going to play everyone's favorite major scale, but I'm going to do it fast. If you need, alright, 5 on the D, 7 on the D, 9 on the D, and then 5 on the G, 7 on the G, 9 on the G, 11 on the G, and then 12 on the G. That's your G major scale. I tremolo pick. Well, it's basically triplets pretty much. And then, since I'm still on G, I'm going to start on a G, and I'm going to go 12 to 14 to 12, hammer on, pull off, and then I'm going to pull it off to open. And I'm just going to walk down the G major scale doing that lick, but it's 12, 14, 12, open, hammer on, pull off, 11, 12, 11, open, 9, 11, 9, open, 7, 9, 7, open. Keep in mind, 7's also a chord tone of G, so it's... And then, since I know I'm playing over a G major, I go to the 4th fret, because that's a chord tone, and I climb, I ascend the same lick, 4 to 5 to 4 to open, 5 to 7 to 5 to open, 7 to 9 to 7 to open, and then 9 to 11 to 9 to open. And that's that whole part. And then we're at the next part. And if you're wondering whether the main riff goes like, or whether it goes like, the 2-3-2 thing, you'll have to ask James. But it's probably because Jason did some real bullshit bass lines on this album. And if you listen really carefully, he's underneath there doing something really stupid. So it could be Jason. And also, if you think about the pronation and supination of the wrist, when you're supination going down, you're going to have a note be more sharp than the pronation coming up. So the down picks are a little higher sounding than the up picks by a little bit. So sometimes you could hear that. What's going on? Okay? All right, so there's a lesson for you. From Kurt Hammitt, I'm out. Thank you.